Well, welcome to the Be Yourself, Keep It Real podcast. I am the real Ebony Queen, the woman who knows what's going on. We have the man in charge, Mr. Alex Hook Brown over there. And today's topic is marriage a must do thing? Or is it something you have to have on paper? And then if you do it, is it really till death do you part? And I don't mean, you kill them the part. We're talking like the forever and ever and everything. We have two guests today. One I do know, Miss Lynn. She is here on Friday. And the gentleman below me, I don't know who he is, but I'm pretty sure he's going to introduce himself, right?
Uh, Abner, they just call me Slim. That's it. My cousin over there in that corner over there, act like he don't know who he is, who I am.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Slim. Cool.
Yeah.
Nepotism runs rampant. Love it. So, what do y'all think? Can I guess have input here?
What you think about that topic?
Uh, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's so much, hold up.
Well, I will tell you that I've had experience with actually both. Um, One in particular, my uncle, who is no longer with us, he passed away last year, but he got married when he was 65. He had a long time, yeah. My aunt, um, long time. They've been together over 25, 30 years tops, they've been together for a very long time. And so the only reason they actually got married was because she got sick because she was diabetic. And so she got sick. It got to a point where she really didn't want her state to go to her kids because apparently they weren't very responsible. And so they got married. And when she did pass away, she wound up getting full military honors because he was, retired Army. And, they really, if it wasn't for that legal aspect, and you're talking, goodness gracious, my son is 17, so yeah, 17 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Um, if it wasn't for that legal aspect, they probably would have never gotten married
Mm.
um, because they were together for a very long time.
Right.
So, you know, in that respect, yeah, it was definitely something that they needed to have on paper because Florida. And, it was a good thing that they did do it and that thing. But yeah, um, so for the most part, it just really depends. They cared about each other, and for the most part, if they didn't have to get married, they probably wouldn't have.
Right.
So you got everything straightened out there, Slim?
Yeah, I got it. So I had to move away from a lot of people where I'm at right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Um, so what do you think of
Hold on.
the topic?
So what you think about that
Hold
topic,
on.
Lynn?
Hold on. Wait, wait till they finish.
What you can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so what you think about that topic?
I mean, it's a lot, man. I mean, dealing with being with somebody, man. I mean, you gotta. It's like a highly risk to me. I mean, it's not the wrong with being with someone, but I'm saying it's a big chance you take it. I mean, you gotta literally take your time because I mean, like they all people say. I mean, in marriage, you go through things. You go through your ups and downs. You know, but the main source is can that other person and you handle the situation together or communicate together and handle the situation and work it out. Because so
Yeah,
now, the time that we're living in now, a lot of people right now don't want to work out the relationship. They think they right, you know. And when you're trying to explain to them what their wrong is, they kind of flip the story on you to make you feel like you're the guilty one. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So this is
I
why,
completely understand.
huh?
I said I completely understand. I was married to a guy like that.
Yeah, so I'm saying this is why a lot of people ain't getting married anymore because of the situation they're in. Because the time that we're living in now, there's a lot of people that's is getting a divorce. You know what I'm saying? And it's scary now to get married. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, it's 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 really, really, really hard. It's really hard because you sit here thinking that you love this person and you don't know what the other person think about you. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, this person just come out of nowhere saying, "Hey, look, I want a divorce," and you like, for what? I mean, what's the reason? I mean, what? Oh, because they come up with some excuse saying that, oh, you know, such and such, like you've been doing things wrong or you've been doing things behind my back or anything right, and it's so much reason to it, you
Yeah,
know. But
yeah.
I mean, like they say in the Bible, for better for worse, you know. And this is the thing that people don't understand, and this is why a lot of people get into divorce because they don't understand what the Bible is telling them. You
And then
know,
it also depends on their definition of worse, really. Because, like you said, there's a lot of people out there that just think like the first time they have an argument, oh my God, our marriage is over.
exactly.
And it's just not like that. I was married 24 years.
Wow.
20, 23 years, I pretty much had enough at that point. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm always the first to say, it was not just his fault. Okay.
Mm,
I always got to tell people that because they're like, well, gosh, you stayed there for so long. Why didn't you just stay? Trust me, there was a lot of different factors that started it, and I was the catalyst. Okay,
mm,
because I cheated on him. I was the catalyst.
mm,
Now, um, if I'd have been more honest with my own feelings, then I would have divorced him before we had our kids. I would have divorced him 15 years prior, actually. But the whole thing is that we have kids, and it just got to a point where he told me that he had forgiven me. He told me that we could try, and 5 years later, for 5 years, I should say, between the time that he confronted me and the time we got divorced, I didn't hear the end of it. When you
mm.
say you forgive somebody, I understand you're not going to forget, and I get that, but you don't beat it over their heads every time you get a chance. That's not trying to get over it. That's
Mm.
trying to, that's not moving on.
Exactly.
So that's
Right.
basically what happened when I got that treatment, knowing that I was like full disclosure. Okay, it didn't matter. So it's like, okay, well, fine. If you're gonna treat me like this, then I can't stay around like that. I am not gonna let you sit there and treat me any kind of way. 5 years later, but we were married for 24 years before our divorce was final. And the
Mm,
thing about it is, we actually had a 20th anniversary blowout block party. So it's not like we weren't trying, or at least it wasn't like I wasn't trying. It wasn't like I wasn't trying, but
wow.
that's what happened.
Mm,
Now, whether it be on paper, for us, it had to be on paper because of the nature of what we were doing when we first got married. We were actually driving a truck together.
mm,
So basically, if something were to happen to him or something were to happen to me, I needed to legally be able to take care of his estate and vice versa. So so we had to get married. Like I said, we lived in
hold
Florida,
on.
so
See, I'm being silent. There's my girl out here. She just came to the hospital with me. My cousin. My cousin.
Oh, Bobby?
That movie
Yo,
right there.
what's
Okay.
going on?
I'm
What's
just in
happening?
camera. Peace. How y'all doing?
Yeah,
Greetings.
all right.
Oh Lord.
Didn't mean you. But yeah, I mean, for us, we had to get married because of the legal ramifications of either one of us. Like, if we got into an accident and one of us died,
Right,
legal ramifications, we wouldn't have been able to take care of the other's estate,
right, right,
or what little estate we had anyway.
right.
Hey, was Ms. Lynn still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
No, I was talking
Le-
about Miss Lynn.
Oh, she right here.
Hello,
She, yeah.
Lynn, you on there? Is you on here?
What?
The other person is you on?
Oh my God. She right
No,
here.
no,
She,
not your girl. I'm talking about we talking about the other person that's on here. I'm trying to see if they on here.
The other guest that we
The
have.
other guest.
uh,
Because, I mean, she's showing that she's here, but she hasn't said
But
anything yet.
one thing I want to say about like okay,
Oh, where'd it go?
well, this camera movie fell out when I.
Probably.
But what I'm saying is like with that, to me, most of the people that I know that's married, it's like they regret it.
Oh, really? Did they not date enough?
They regret it. You know what I mean? They saying like it's a lot of things going on in their marriage and stuff like that. They say they would have knew it would been like that from the jump. They would have never, say I do.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, how are you going to know that unless you get married? And it also depends on the issues. I mean, it just depends on the
Right,
issues.
right.
Oh,
But
ooh, look, she's back.
can we? Can you say something?
Hello?
Okay,
Oh,
we
there you
hear you.
are.
We hear you. But and some marriages like it's like majority of the marriages don't be. I'm gonna say how I could put it. They don't be genuine.
What do you think? Like, you're saying like one person or the other person is basically
Or
fronting
yeah, it could
the
be
whole time.
it could be bad. Yeah, because maybe the other person may not want to get married, but they do it because they don't want to disappoint the other person.
I've never heard of that before, but okay.
No, I'm serious. Like it might they may don't want to hurt the other person feelings by in the
Well,
situation.
no, you know what? You know what though? I will tell you that there are some people out there that would get married for the principle. A friend of mine had a child from the young lady.
Hmm.
I won't say young lady because they were both young when we were young, in the 30s. Um, and so he married her because
Right,
they were having a child together.
right,
But yeah, they did wind up getting a divorce. Um, they had their shared experiences, good times, or whatever. But then she started acting a donkey, and I heard it from both of them. So it's not like I'm getting just one sided information. I mean,
right,
she's been, because I was a good friend of hers too, so I
right,
heard from both sides.
right,
Um, and yeah, she started acting a donkey, and so they wound up getting a divorce. Um, so it does happen. Like I said, he was doing the noble thing, marrying her so the kid would have a name. Well, the
hmm,
kid would have had a name anyway, but you know what I mean. And apparently he liked her enough because they had a kid together.
yeah.
So
But like I noticed, like in uh a lot of black young people that get married today, the marriages don't even last, not even 1 to 2 years.
no, that's only because they're not being honest about the reasons they're getting married. Well, that's part of it, and then the other part of it is that they didn't they didn't date enough people to really know what they want. I mean, they go and they go into it and they think they want what this person is giving to them, but then they come to find out, as the days and the weeks and the months go by, you're like, wait a minute, this isn't exactly what I signed up for.
Right,
But like we did on our Valentine's Day show, basically you have to date enough people to know what you want
but I
and
not to
and
cut
know
you
you.
off. I think it is that they have to live together first to see if that's something that they want to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
No, no doubt.
before the date, and I don't think it's really about dating more people. I think it's about living together first to see if that's something, if y'all energy mix. Because if y'all energy
Well,
don't mix, it ain't gonna work.
Well, truthfully, that's kind of a plus or minus. I mean, if you have your own places and you've spent like a couple of weekends on his place or a couple of weekends at her place, or you go over and spend a week with him, you will get that idea. It doesn't take long. I'm telling you, it does not take long. If you have your own places and you spend more time at his place than your place, or you spend more time at her place than your own place, um, and you figured out that okay, yeah, we can get along, on a for or even go on vacation. That's another way of actually trying to figure it out too.
That's not
Because
gonna
if you
work.
go on a vacation, no, here's
I
the
don't
thing
think,
though. It depends on how long the vacation is.
but
Because you go on a 2 week vacation.
I don't think what you saying is spend time at their house and they spend time at their house. That ain't gonna work. Y'all got to work
You're
up.
talking
Y'all got to
about
wake up in the same bed, go to sleep at the same bed every day. That's the only way you're
okay.
gonna really. That's the only way you're gonna really find out if that's a person y'all energy mixing. Because just because y'all go spend each other time at each other's house, that ain't gonna give you what you're looking for. You got to
Well,
be
it
able to
all
live in
depends
the
on how
same
many
roof.
days you stay. Yeah, well, that all depends because you don't want to mix your finances with somebody you don't think you're going to get married to. I mean,
Right.
that's one thing. And if you're living under the same roof, you're going to have to do some kind of commingling when it comes to your finances. And I'm
Right.
not going to do that unless I'm married to you. Sorry.
Right.
But I'm not going to marry you unless I know your habits and I know and that's spending a lot of time with them.
Right.
Now, just living with somebody, yes, I understand that part because yeah, when you wake up to somebody, you roll over and you look at them, and they're just butt ugly in the morning. You still love that, then that's great. But you don't need to. You don't need to live with a person to see that.
You have to. You have to.
How you figure?
You have. That's the only
Nobody,
way. See,
nobody is going to be picture
no,
perfect
no,
when they
no,
first
no,
wake up
no,
in the
no,
morning. I can tell you that.
no. Listen, you ain't gonna be able to know if y'all energy mixed because y'all going home to each other's house like here and there and there. It ain't you ain't gonna be able to see the real big picture.
Well, what
If
what are
y'all living
you
under the
looking?
same
Okay,
roof,
okay,
that's how
okay.
you gonna find
If
out.
you're living under the same roof, okay, what is different than say spending a week at like say for example, what is the difference between living with your girl and spending a week over there with her?
Right.
What's the difference?
What you mean? What's the difference?
What is the difference between living with your girlfriend or spending a week at her place? Or she spending a week at your place?
That's not. That still ain't gonna get you what you looking for.
That's not the question. What's the
That's that.
difference?
It's a
What
difference.
what's the
Listen,
difference?
that you're not gonna get. You ain't gonna be able to see what the energy is because y'all ain't in the
What
same household.
what is the difference?
You not going to listen. It's a difference. Cause you'll feel the energy. You ain't go if y'all ain't under the same roof. You ain't gonna feel the energy. You ain't
What
gonna
kind of
know if this
energy?
something
What kind
to
of
see
energy are you looking for?
if y'all energy connect and how things are run inside the same household together. Like if y'all in the same roof,
But if you're talking to
just spend a time at their house for a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That ain't gonna give you what you need.
okay, but
Can
what
I
I'm
say
saying is,
something?
what go for it, absolutely.
Can can I? Because I'm listening, but um, hi, I'm Lynn. Um, Hook. I don't think you're listening to the question because at the end of the day, no matter how much time you spend with a person, whether you living with them or not, you can know and feel the energy as soon as you meet the person, whether you will want to be with that person for a lifetime or a short time, just by the conversations you have, whether you living with them or not. You don't have to live with somebody full force in order to know if you want to marry that person. You can date that person and know if you want to marry that person. When you sit across from them at dinner time and they smacking their mouth or they picking their teeth, you realize, okay, I don't think I want to deal with this every time I go out to dinner. Or if that person is a person who they only want to come through sometimes, and sometimes that person, they get missing and stuff like that. That's not like, it's logic. Like, I wouldn't want to be with someone if I had to deal with that, whether I was living with him or not. And then if I'm dating him and he's like that, why would I want to move him in my house and he's like that?
Yeah, you can tell if somebody's unreliable, then you don't even have to live
Exactly.
with them for that.
Yeah. And why would you? Okay, a home is stability. That's what home is. Home is stability. Anybody can live in a house, but a home is where you have stability. And in every marriage, a person should want stability. In every marriage, I don't care if you've been married a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, if you dated for that long, you still want to see stability. You want to see consistency in that person. And, you know, you just cannot think that because I live with this person for 5 years, it could be your fifth year, and that person could say, you know what, hell with all of this. I don't want none of it. I listen, you go your way and I go my way, and that's living.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
living. I know a young woman and a young man. They didn't get married right away. They got married after their kids were grown, and guess how long they stayed together?
How long?
Not long after that. They was together like 25, 30 years. Got
Okay.
married, exactly. Got married, and then after they got married, it wasn't before long they were divorced. I see him sitting having lunch with somebody else.
Damn.
Whoa. Yeah, that part.
And when I asked him, like, where's your wife? He was like, oh, we're not together no more. And you look at that and you say, God damn, like this lady waited around for this man for 25, 30 years, or this man waited around for this woman for 25, 30 years, because it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women out here that don't want to be married either. Now, don't think that only men think that marriage is like, oh my, like what people used to say. Ask me when after I got married, how do you feel? And then you hear a lot of people saying the same. They say,
Well,
oh,
like
it's the
you were
same.
saying.
It's no different, but it is. It's a difference, because at the end of the day, when you're married, it's on a whole different, like, it's on a whole different realm. And I say that because I look at it more spiritually than anything.
Right. And
I
seeing
don't
a
look
lot of people. Good.
I don't look at it as a physical thing. I look at it more as a spiritual, but that's because of the mindset.
Right.
If you go into and I wasn't dating 5 years. We dated a year and 3 months, and we lasted 10. We dated a year and 3 months. We got married. We never had children. We were together for 10 years. No, we was together for 13 years total. So
And
when
see,
and
and when me and my ex-husband got married, we only dated a year. We dated a year. We got married. After 13 years, we had kids, and after 24, we were divorced.
and people would look at that and say that was perfect. Like, you had time to enjoy each other. A year you dated, 10
And
years,
it was a long distance
14 years,
relationship too.
and it lasted that long. Like that, I mean, that's rare. That's
But
rare.
okay, I
But
want to say something. Not everybody meant to be married.
Facts.
okay,
Not
now
everybody meant to be married. No,
listen,
no.
listen.
Hold on, hold
If
on, hold
we
on, hold
only
on
no
now.
no no listen.
Okay, go
If
ahead, go
we're
ahead,
Let
if
her, let
go
her
ahead.
we're
finish.
if we're not going if we're not going if we're not gonna be real with each other, then let's not be real. But if we be real with each other, first of all, people who not married, people who are not married is they either and ain't like they not married, they don't have children, they are angels sent here. But those people who have decided that this was something that they're gonna do, far as okay, the word of God says this that we're gonna do it by the word of God. Technically, none of us will be married, because a lot of us have fornicated before marriage, which is not supposed to be. A lot of
Right.
us have had kids before, and that's not supposed to be. What we fail to realize is the truth. The truth of this matter is when you start having sex with people, you're picking up the different energies. And that's why, and people don't believe this, but if you test it, you will find that it's so real and so true. And I live by it.
Yeah,
But
Lynn,
you
you
pick
just
up,
validated something I said 2 weeks ago, so thank you.
say it again. I'm
I said
sorry.
you just validated something I said about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so thank you.
Oh, yes. You spoke about the spiritual by
I
having sex.
did.
And
I
oh, okay.
did.
Oh, okay. So I mean it's a true thing, and people don't want to believe that. But if you try it and you pay attention, you'll see that, people say, oh, when you hear people say, oh, he had like a woman, he had like a woman, he had attributes of a woman. Ask him how many women he laid down with. And I'm just saying he had like a woman, but I'm saying he really act like a bitch. I didn't need to say that to say
A
that. But
PAN. It's a
but
PAN.
you understand?
It's a PAN, man.
But
That's
you
all we say
understand
is a
what I
PAN. Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
But hold on, I want to say
But
something, right? Let me say something, not to cut you
go
off,
ahead.
right?
Go ahead. Hook.
Okay. If you like, if okay, we don't really know if that's the true saying what the Bible saying that you got to be married. That somebody wrote that book, right? I believe in God. I ain't saying I don't, but that book was wrote by somebody. We don't
All
even know
books,
if. Hold on, I know that,
all
but we
books
don't
wrote by
know.
somebody.
Okay, but we don't know if that's the real thing that we've got to be married or to be whole. Because I
That's the
believe. Hold on now. I believe if you and this person could live together and y'all just for each other, no extra spirits and no other spirits attachment, y'all will be whole. Because let me tell you something. When you start sleeping with somebody and you've been with that person for a long time, y'all to start getting the same symptoms. Some things may happen to them, may happen to you. You get what I'm saying?
that's
So
because you're that's because you're spiritually connected if you've been
that's what I'm
sleeping with
saying.
each
So it
other.
don't.
But
That's what I'm saying. So that means that I don't think, because
no,
really in
Hook,
reality, I'm finna say
Hook,
something.
Hook.
We have God live within us, right?
And we
Yeah.
do.
And
And we
long
do.
as you continue to live righteousness with God, right, that
Okay.
you will continue to hold your power. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. But
So
Hook, listen. You can't listen, please. I don't like when people do this. You believe in the Bible, but you don't
right,
believe. But you don't believe. Now, this is what you said now.
that ain't what I said. I
The
say
Bible.
the book was wrote by somebody. So we don't know if that's facts, real true facts in the book. You get what I'm saying? But the reason why we believe the words in the Bible because everybody put so much energy in the book. That's why a lot of things happening in the world that what is wrote in the book. Because it's moving off of energy. You get what I'm saying?
I
So
hear what you saying.
we
I don't
don't
get
know
it, but
that.
I hear you.
We don't know that.
We know.
I think what he's trying to say is that though the Bible is actually written by more or less a human being, because they wrote that, a lot of the things that are in the Bible are coming to fruition because it's been put out there in the universe.
Right?
It's an autobiography of a life, of somebody's life. That's what the Word of God is.
Not quite. Well,
Because look, okay.
if you started the New Testament, then yeah.
It, yes,
But look,
I
okay,
If you
mean,
started the New Testament, yeah, but the Old Testament, not so
even if
much.
it's the old, even if it's the Old Testament, it was still wrote by man. It wasn't
well,
wrote. God did. If the
somebody
book,
had to write it.
okay, but
Book.
it say wrote by God. It say wrote by man. It's wrote by man, King James, and whatever Solomon, whoever they want to say.
But see, the thing is though, what they're writing about, they're not writing about human experiences. They're writing about the experiences they've had.
Exactly.
It's almost like if I
Oh, that's what
wrote a
I'm saying.
travel log. It's like if I wrote a travel log.
It's like
Okay.
how I can
If
put
I
it. It's
go
like a
to if
journal.
I
It's like a journal.
right. If I go to Zimbabwe and I say, okay, I'm in Zimbabwe and I saw a zebra. Now, are you gonna say that I didn't see the zebra simply because I just wrote it down? That's the thing.
I'm
The
just,
Bible is written by men, yes. However, and I'm not going to even go into the missing text. We're not going to even go that. We're just going to go with what we
Yeah,
got
we
right
just
now.
going with what we
They
got.
are just witness accounts. And
Exactly.
they're witness accounts of what has been said.
I
That's
understand
basically
that.
what the Bible
I
is.
understand that.
So if it is witness accounts by what people said, and that's what's in there, that in order for us, man and wife to be, man and woman to be whole, then they witnessed it, and that's why it's in the Bible.
Right.
Mm.
So it's not so much somebody made it up and wrote it down. They witnessed this stuff. And
Yeah,
they said,
that's
"Oh
just like,
snap! This is cool. Let me write that
but
down so we won't
that's
forget it."
just like you going through something in your life and you writing it down.
Right?
Oh, okay,
You get
but
what I'm saying?
Hook, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you saying that the book was written by man, and we're not gonna get into no whole blown out conversation about the Bible because we all believe how we want to believe in whatever it is that we want to believe, whether we want to believe in the Bible or we want to believe in the Willy Wonka, whatever. You understand? But we all believe how we believe. But what I will say to you, what I want to ask you,
Okay.
being though you're the man that you are, right?
Right.
And what you portray, right?
Right.
Do you feel that you should or should not be married? And if it is, how much of it do you believe?
I believe in it, but I'm gonna go back to when slavery was in slavery days, right? They never had got married. They just knew they just like had enough food and things for them. They saying they was together. That was
Mm,
the that was saying they were married. You get what I'm saying?
I hear
So
you.
that's what they lived on. But
Can,
in
can I?
reality, like it's if you okay, some people really just get married for the last name. Y'all have joint bank accounts. Anything that you own, they have a partial of it.
But you miss the that's the misconception. That's not what it is though. That's the misconception, Alex. Book. That's the misconception that people feel that, oh, it doesn't mean anything. It means a lot. Let me tell you something. For a woman to take your last name, that should mean a lot to you. That should mean a lot to you. For a woman to bear your last name, for her to have her children and her children, your offspring, to bear your last name. And you don't have to be woman to woman to woman to woman. And the same thing go for women. Like I have 3 children with 3 different baby daddies.
Right.
Would I have liked to be married to my first child's father? Absolutely. But guess what? It didn't work out that way. We were young, and not only that, I was looking at the righteous things to do because I've always been serving God. I've been serving God since I was a youth. So I always looked at thing as the righteous thing to do.
Right.
However, sometimes and we mingle ourselves with people who may not have the same views. And then they may do have the same views, but because a lot of times people get caught up in the world. That's why people feel like, oh, getting married don't mean nothing. Getting married, oh, I don't want to get married because I don't want to give up a lot of what I'm doing. And what people fail to realize is you really don't have to give up anything if you've been honest with the person from the beginning. If you be honest in the communication, if you be honest and you communicate with that person, you will not have to give up anything. When I decided that me and my ex-husband, we were gonna get married, we got married a year and something later, right? After we got married, nothing his life, like, he didn't feel like his life was over because he still did everything that he wanted to do. He Wherever he wanted to go, he went. Whatever he wanted to do, he did. He just knew that Monday through Saturday, I work and I do whatever. On Sunday, I have to vow that to my family. That was a communication. We never had issues when it came to the children that was from outside. Why? Because we had a conversation before. You understand? And that's what people don't do. They don't have conversations before. If I have a child right now, if my son's father come to me and tell me, hey, I met somebody, I think that this is, the person who I want to be with, we okay, fine. I need to meet her. I need to know that when my son go to be with you all, that it will be you guys will be a family. You will treat him as such. No one wants to put their children in the hands of someone who they cannot trust. You understand what I'm saying? So when people say, "Oh, I don't want this, that, and the third," like people to be around my child and all this and that. Listen, you have to first know who you're dealing with. You understand? But and that's how it was when I got married. Me, my children, my ex-husband, one of the fathers, because the other one wasn't in the picture. But you have to have a respect factor. You know what I'm saying? You have to don't leave people out. You know, and I included that person into the not into the marriage, but to build a relationship with my husband, an open door to build a relationship with my husband, so that when my child is with my husband, my her father feels that okay, he's gonna be there to love, protect her. He's not gonna allow anybody to just do anything to her. You get what I'm saying? That people want to feel that their kids are gonna be protected when you having kids from everybody. But when you have kids with one person, a lot of times you don't have to worry about that when it comes to the children and outside relationships. You get what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
when you in a marriage, rather it's you grew up together, or if you met and you have children previously, like don't go into a marriage with negative thoughts. You cannot do that because you're setting the tone, you setting the atmosphere for a lot of things to happen. You like you said about energy. If you be with somebody and their energy, you have to check their energy. You have to, well, you feel like you should live with that person so that you can see their energy, but you feel their energy when you're in the presence of them. It's not you have to live with them to feel the energy. You feel the energy. It's like as long as you're around them, you'll feel the energy. So when you do decide to get married to that person, that you guys have an understanding. But when
Right.
you just cannot go into thinking that marriage is bad, bad, bad. Even when you hear other stories and how it did not work, you can't say my marriage, because you should be thinking that, hell, I'm that good enough, or I'm that person that I ain't worrying about my marriage ending, because me and my baby, we got this, like we got communication, we got, when we have fun when we're together, and you know take her into consideration and her feelings into consideration, and she takes my thoughts and my feelings into consideration, and you know and I just think that you have to change your mindset about marriage, when and that's for a lot of us, a lot of people, a lot of you know um our people, they
Right.
look at marriage as such a bad thing, like it's
Right.
just bad, it's just bad.
Right.
No,
Right.
you have a
Right.
lifetime partner. You have somebody who's gonna have your back
Right.
always. You know what I'm saying? And when you're in that marriage, you have to give that 100%, both parties. Ain't nobody off the hook. The woman or the man, everybody have
Right.
to give that 100%. Yes,
Right.
people get divorces for different reasons. Not all reasons are the same. Just like her marriage ended for her reasons, my marriage ended for my reasons. um and anybody else who gets a divorce, they get divorced for their reasons, rather it was
Right.
years.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Who's
Rather it's
that?
for rather it's for years, for like, okay, when you start seeing the shift, it's a shift that always happens. I don't know if she can agree with me, but it's a shift in a marriage that always happen, and everybody's aware of that shift because it's a conversation that will be had.
Right.
True, because
It's a conversation.
I think the bigger shift that
Go ahead.
happened, I mean, besides the whole cheating thing, was the fact that we actually had kids. Actually, it started pretty much when we had kids, because
Hmm.
unfortunately, with him, after I had our son, he was still out on the road as a truck driver. Okay,
Hmm.
so the attention had shifted away from him. He wasn't centralized anymore because he wasn't the only man in my life at that time, and shifted to me having to take care of our son, which was exacerbated by the fact that he was 4 months early.
Uh-huh.
So not
Hmm.
only do I can't take care of my husband because my son is a preemie and he came home on oxygen, he came home on
Hmm.
an apnea monitor, and all the therapies and everything that I had to do. We had people
Hmm.
coming to the house to teach him how to do stuff. We had to go to
Hmm.
physical therapy. We had to teach him how to chew. I mean, we had to go through all of that
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm.
And anytime he come home, I'm always off going to do something else with my son because he's 4 months early. And
Hmm.
getting him all that time. So that shift came, and then all of a sudden it became like, well, why don't you pay any more attention to me? It's like, oh, I gotta take care of him.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you can take care of yourself at this point. I mean, there are certain things that I will do for you because, of course, I'm your wife.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand that, yeah, I have an infant now. I have a toddler now, and then of course we wound up having another child after 21 months.
Hmm.
So now we have two kids under 3, and he's gone for 4 weeks at a time, and it's me
Hmm.
again, and me and them in a 3 bedroom, two
Hmm.
bathroom house.
and
So
and and so you building relationship with the kids, but not so much as your husband, because if you're talking to him, it's about work or it's about the children.
right, exactly. And the thing is that
Hmm.
I was out there on the road at one time with him, so I knew
Hmm.
exactly what he was going through. So when he
Exactly.
calls me and he calls and complain, I'm sitting there and I'm listening to him and I'm saying, hey,
Hmm.
yeah, I understand, this, that, and the other. But then when I start talking about, like, for example, my son's teachers, and the complaints that I have with them, I'm not really looking for solutions. I just want to vent.
Right.
And
Right.
he'll say something to the effect, well, that's what you signed up for. And I'm going, what kind of shit? Why the fuck would you say some shit like that? So, like I said, the shift came when we had kids, and then he started neglecting me, basically. And
Yeah.
so that's when the cheating came. Now, I should have
Yeah.
said, okay, I can't deal with you doing this to me, and I could have left,
Hmm.
but I didn't. And
But
that was,
Okay.
and that
don't.
was my,
Okay.
and that was
I'm
my
gonna
But not to
I'm gonna
cut you
tell
off.
you.
Right.
I'm
Hold
gonna tell.
on. Not to
Wait,
cut you
wait.
off.
Before you say something, Hook, I'm gonna tell you right now, and don't feel bad about anything, because whether you said something or not, it all depends on if he was listening. How receptive would he have been to you saying to him that, hey, this is what I need. This is what
funny you would say that
you.
because
Hmm.
when um when he came home one time and our son was still in the hospital, okay, because he was in
Hmm.
the NICU for 92 days, so he was still in the hospital. He was getting
Hmm.
ready to go back to work after being off for, I guess you'd say, paternity leave.
Okay.
um I sat him down and I literally told him, I said, look, I know with you being out there on the road and me being here, we're not going to be able to touch, hold, kiss, do all the things that we like to do with each
Hmm.
other when we're together. Okay.
Hmm.
But this is what I need from you.
Hmm.
Send me a text message, send me an email, send me something that lets me know that you're thinking about me, thinking about
Hmm.
us.
Hmm.
And I just wanted to basically feel wanted and needed as a woman, as his wife.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's the
Hmm.
only thing I asked for.
Hmm.
I had
And
actually came up with a
that's all most
I
women
actually
ask for, because
right.
we
I
all
actually came up
know,
with
we all as women came up with a
well, no,
what?
I actually came up with a game. It is
Okay.
it's called um It's called All Day Foreplay.
Okay.
And basically, I told him basically this is how it goes. Now, if I
Okay.
know he's on his way home,
Mhm.
okay, I will send him a text message. And
Mhm.
it's an erotic text message. I mean, it's straight up raunchy.
Right.
And
Okay.
basically, the idea is when he's on his way home, we were back and forth text just like that, so
Right.
that he would be obviously in the mood. He's always in the mood when he
Right.
gets home, of course, and then so would I.
Right.
Because sex in a woman, it begins in the mind. So if I'm
Yeah.
here getting these text messages from him saying when I get home, I'm just like, okay, let me make sure everything is done and everybody's put
Okay.
away so I can get what you're gonna give me. You know,
Mhm.
we played it once.
Wow. Wow.
Anytime I tried to initiate it, it's like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. It's like, okay, I realize you're working, but you could take 5 seconds to send a text message. I mean,
Yeah. Mm.
so it's not like I did not try,
Right.
you know. And like I said, I shouldn't have cheated on him. I know that, and I knew that when I was doing it, honestly.
Right.
But at
Right.
the same time, there does come a consequence of being neglected.
Or let me ask you a question.
Of course.
What you
Of
got?
course.
What you got out of cheating? What you got? What? No, be for real. What did you
Be
get out of it?
honest. Be
I am
honest.
being honest. I
Did you
got
feel like
zero.
you
See,
accomplished
this is
what you
what
wanted, or
happened.
you ain't get what you needed? What it was?
Well,
You
here's
just
the
got it.
thing.
You just got it for the moment, and that was it.
Well, the thing, no, actually, what it was is not so much the actual act of cheating, but what led up to it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
you ever heard that "Everything I Miss at Home"? That
Mhm.
song? Okay,
Mhm.
he was giving me the attention. He was giving me the
Mhm.
hey, this is what I like to do. He was telling me I was beautiful. He was telling me how fine I was. He was giving me the things that I needed from my husband that I wasn't getting, even though I told him that's what I needed.
Mhm.
But when it actually came down to it, it wasn't worth it. It was not worth it. And it wasn't so
So
much. It was,
it
and
it
honestly, it
wasn't
wasn't so
worth
bad.
it
It
because
Okay,
wasn't.
okay.
No, it wasn't worth it.
We got a comment. We got a
A,
comment now, right?
it was it wasn't worth it
Somebody
because of
said
his
on here.
behavior
Somebody said on here the you that
to me.
you sound like you didn't forgive yourself.
Oh no, I have. I don't see the thing is that I have forgiven myself only because I know now
Mhm.
why it happened. I know
Mhm.
what happened. I know what the catalyst was. I know
Mhm.
why it happened. And like I said, the reason that I knew it wasn't worth it, it wasn't just because it was the catalyst to the destruction of our marriage, but the
Mhm.
guy that I was talking to, it wasn't worth being with him at all.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. He was a one
Mhm.
trick pony and his pony wasn't a trick at all. Uh that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay, let me say something. Let me say something, right? Let me say something. You could be with you. Listen, a woman could be married, right? You could be married to a woman.
Mhm.
There's so much temptation in this world. We fighting this
Mhm.
every way. Every day, our flesh fighting against flesh. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're gonna see something that may look better than that person or whatever. It's like you're fighting the temptation, but it's up to you if you won't fall into the trap.
Oh,
But let
You
me
get what
absolutely.
I'm
tell
saying?
you.
So
Let me say this.
hold on
Go
now,
ahead.
hold
Go ahead.
on. Let me finish up now.
Okay.
You could be married,
Mhm.
right? And you could
Mhm.
walk past, and the man say something to you, and you once you stop and hold a conversation, he got you.
Well, see, and the thing about it,
No. No. No.
It
No.
He
depends
could say the right
on,
thing
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
it
Mm-mm.
depends.
that you
No,
Mm-mm.
never
wait.
heard before. He got you.
Mm-mm.
I
Mm-mm.
actually have a counter against that. Okay. Now,
Yes. Please
after I
do.
got, after I got divorced, okay,
Mhm.
I was dating the one person that I told everybody that if anything ever happened to me and my ex-husband, he was the only person I would marry.
Mhm.
Okay. I met him and I was dating him before I met my ex-husband.
Mhm.
Now, the reason we broke up back then was because he went to prison for 7 years. Okay.
Okay.
And I basically misunderstood the reason because he had been to jail before. And
Mhm.
I asked him, like, don't do it.
Did he
So
have a
I broke off
girlfriend?
our
Did
engagement.
he have a girlfriend there?
No, no. Shoot. Matter of fact, he fought
That's
for
so
the last seven
stupid.
years. But anyway, so we got back together.
Mhm.
And he was the only man I wanted. He was the only
Mhm.
man I loved. If it wasn't for the fact that he did something completely stupid
Mhm.
and I called him on it
Mhm.
and he left within 15, no, it wasn't even, he left within 5 hours of having that argument
Mhm.
with no warning, no apology, nothing.
Mhm.
Okay. I would have never
Mhm.
known there were other people out there in Facebook. Like, I would have never known that Facebook had messenger chats that were X rated.
So you was already intentionally thinking about cheating.
No, I wasn't. That's
No,
the
it
thing.
wasn't.
I didn't know any of that. The only reason the
Cause
only
it's
reason I
up to
got on
you.
Facebook in
It's
2010,
it's up to you if you want
but
to
that's what I'm saying.
respond to the
I
message.
no, that it wasn't even that. I wasn't even looking. That's the whole thing.
Hmm.
You
When
missed it. You missed in the
when
conversation.
we
I'm
So
listening to what
yeah
she said.
when we
I'm listening to
broke
what
okay.
when
she's
he
saying.
left me when he left me and there was something he did and I said something and he decided
She checked him
oh he
on
didn't
it.
leave. Okay.
Uh
She
huh.
checked him on it, and he left.
Yeah, about I guess about 5 or 6 weeks later, I said, okay, let me just see if I can find some friends, somebody to talk to, because he was the only person I talked to. So let me go in
Right.
there. I joined the Florida singles group
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and I actually met a couple of people in the Florida singles group that I'm still friends with today, actually, which was
Oh,
kind of
okay.
cool. So I
Mhm.
got in the Florida singles group, and of course, everybody's doing the chit chat and everything. And there was one young lady, I can't remember her name now, that said, "Hey, have you ever been in a messenger chat?" And I'm like, "What's that?" Because at that point, I only knew that two people could go into a messenger chat.
Well, I
I
want to
didn't
know
know
what it is, so I could go in the chat.
they have group chats out there. I mean, they have way more than they had back then. I mean, you're talking
Oh
2017.
wow. Okay.
Um, but yeah, they had, and I was like, group chat, what's that? And
Mhm.
it's like, well, yeah, it was called God, I
What is it
forgot the
called?
name. I forgot the name of it, but it was just like a raunchy ass name. Okay,
Okay.
I mean raunchy ass name. I'm like, okay, well, sure. So she sends me the link. I join in, and it was the absolute first time that I had ever seen anybody else's snatch.
Mm.
It's the
Mm.
first time because, of course, I had Playgirl books.
You
I
Right.
was in
bought
that freaky. You was in that
military.
freaky group.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what it was. I mean, it
You
was
like
a
that? You was in
X-rated.
that
It was an
freaky group.
X-rated. It's an
Oh.
X-rated
Mhm.
messenger chat group,
Hmm.
and it was the first. Like I said, the first time in my entire life I'd seen another person
Mhm.
snatch,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, wait, these places exist."
Mhm.
I had no idea because I was so in tune and so focused on loving this man. He
Yeah.
was the only thing I knew, and so
Mhm.
yeah, like what you were saying, Hook. If another man would have talked to me, it would not have made a difference because I was very much in love with this guy.
It don't
He
matter. It
crushed
don't matter.
me.
It don't
I mean,
matter.
when I tell you when he left, he crushed me. I listened to nothing but hip hop and trap music for 5 years.
Ah,
But that don't mean nothing if you was
became a
talking to somebody else. That
became a
don't mean nothing.
gangster.
If you was focused on him.
Gangster, I was gangster rap. I was
A
hip hop. I
gangster.
was trap music. I mean, no R and
No
B,
love
no
music.
love,
No, no
no,
smooth
not even
listening.
jazz.
No.
And I love jazz. Not even jazz for five
I've been
years.
I've been there. I not so much the trap music. I still listen to a lot of the like R&B a little bit, but it's all about um it's negative. It's nothing positive. And
Right, right.
my daughter made a comment to me the other day and she said, "Mom, maybe if you listen to just a little bit more love music, maybe you could fall in love again."
Hell, I have a
Hey,
playlist on
but
Spotify that's
what you
Kurt
do with a
Crush and
woman when you
Carmen
listening
Trip,
to like certain love music? You know you like the
Lord.
music and they talking about what the fuck you run up you thinking about your other bitch.
right? Okay. I have a playlist on Spotify called Hurt, Crushed, Depressed, and Hurt, Crushed,
Hey,
Disappointed, and Depressed.
I had to go through that shit all the time. You think about your other bitch and what y'all did the other night before? That shit, that
I'm telling
crazy,
you,
man.
everybody
I,
was really surprised when I knew all the words to Lil Wayne's "I'm in Love with a Stripper." Oh no, it's a bartender. Bartender. Between bartender, Mrs. Officer, and Oh God, what is the name of the song I used to cycle to?
Oh
Got
Lord.
money.
Ooh,
That one.
you became a straight up thugger.
I'm telling you. So it is possible that if somebody were to talk to me at the, and as a matter of fact, I used to work at Walmart Pharmacy. I was working at Walmart Pharmacy at the time, and there were plenty of people that were trying to talk to me, but I was so deeply engaged with being with him that it was like having blinders on,
Yeah,
which
it
for me was like, oh my gosh, and that's the thing is like right now, I'm at a point in my life where yeah, I want that again, but I'm also going to be very picky on who it is simply because of the fact that I've known that guy for 28 years at that point.
yeah.
Okay. We had got reconnected and talked about
Hmm.
the resolution of issues in a relationship. And he
Yeah.
left the
After
minute
one
we had a
argument.
conflict. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
That
like,
was
okay.
wait, I think that may have been one of his triggers. Like, okay, because I'm gonna tell you, one time I was talking to somebody, right? And this person, he always was on the phone. Always was on the phone. Oh my God. And I couldn't take it no more. Like I couldn't take it no more. So I left him. So
Yeah.
then I went on a date, right? I went on a date. I was talking to a guy. I went on a date with him. And I said, and one of my deal breakers were, if this guy on that phone while we having dinner, this will be our
Mm.
last dinner. That
Oh,
was that was a trigger for me. And I felt like when at first he started on the phone, but then he put the phone to the side, like without me saying anything. He put the phone to the side. He
mhm.
did not engage the phone again until we was finished with having breakfast. And that
Wow.
was
Yeah.
six years ago. Six,
Well,
seven
I
years
will tell
I
ago.
you
want to
that
say this. I want to say this, right? Women don't respect men that marry or married man, right?
Oh no.
Listen, you could like before you got married, you want to check it for me. Now you know I'm married. Now you ready to drop the drawers,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
everything.
They
well,
Women
do.
don't
I will
respect
Yeah.
that
tell
now.
you,
I'm gonna
I
be
tell you
real.
that
They ready to fuck you
My
out of both pants leg now until they know you married now.
Listen, my husband, no, he's telling the truth because my husband used to tell me that all the time. He say, "You think me wearing this wedding ring really matter to them?" He say, "They
well,
be at they
well,
be at me," and it was
there actually
proven
is something to it
to me
because
because one girl, she always used to see me and my ex-husband together.
right.
And she slid him the number. This one time we wasn't together. She didn't see us together. She slid him the number. He came, he gave me the number, and I
Oh,
slid that the next day or a couple of days later, I slid that number right back at her ass.
I love it. I love it. Well, and there is a reason behind that though.
But women love married
I
men.
was
A lot of
reading
these women love
something.
married men.
The reason that happens is because when a man is married, there is
Hmm.
an actual shift in his energy
Energy.
that is a lot more confident,
Appealing.
a lot bolder,
Appealing.
and a lot appealing, and women
Yep.
know that. It's the
And
same
they
thing with guys and married women.
mm-hmm.
When women are married and they're
Mm-hmm.
happily married, which is even
Mm-hmm.
like, if you're happily married, you
Yeah.
have that confidence, you have that pride that,
Mm-hmm.
people can see and they
Mm-hmm.
like
Half of them,
that
Mm-hmm.
and they approach that. And so, yeah,
half of them, half of
absolutely.
them, half of them damn women be home wreckers.
Well, that's the
On
part.
the
That's
real, they
that's
be
the good
home
part.
wreckers. They know you married, right? And they know
Mm-hmm.
they know you married, and you fuck them, whatever. Next thing you know, they in their feelings now. They want to act a
Oh,
fool.
wait,
They
wait,
want to
wait.
Well,
get
You
their. They
guys,
that's
want.
but
Hold on,
that's
you
hold on,
because
hold
know
on.
you
Hold on.
no, no, no.
I
You
gave
know
y'all the
you
flow.
married and you
Let
fuck
me get the flow, right? Listen,
exactly.
right? They start they get your girl, they find out your wife's number, they start calling her phone, telling her
Yes,
all kind of shit. The next thing you know, then your marriage going down here because you don't fuck with a hood rat.
yeah.
Well,
But
that's the
majority
You
choice.
of them,
cheated.
no, but majority of the women's them who love, they like to fuck with married men.
You
But
know your
it's
marriage
it's
would go
it's
downhill because
it's
you cheated.
Yeah,
It ain't about cheating. It ain't about that.
it's of
Cause see, listen.
convenience. It's of
Okay, listen.
convenience. The woman that's coming to you, she coming to you because she know, number one, okay, you married, so that means you have some stability. That means you taking care of a home, a house, a wife. You taking care of of your space, and she
Yeah.
want you to invest and take care and sponsor her. And don't get it misconstrued,
Easy, not
because
sponsored.
yeah, they want to be sponsored, and they not looking to love you. They not even looking to love on you. They just want what you got, or what some of what you given to your wife. They want to prove to that, because they always gonna call a wife a bitch. I want to prove to that bitch
Always.
that he ain't shit, because look, he fucking with me like he want me. But like the man say, of course he gonna fuck with you. You easy.
There you go. He didn't have to work
Convenient.
for
But
it.
listen, hold
He
on,
didn't have
hold
to
on, hold
work
on. Let me
for
let me
it.
let me let me, let me answer this question for you, right? Now, you got women that they married, right? They know they got a husband at home, right? But they want to fuck with you because they see you probably the raw nigga. They want to drop the drawers for you and shit like that. You get what I'm saying?
No,
So
why they fucking
that
with
shit
you? Cause
happen a
they
lot.
thinking
That shit happen
they
a lot now.
and they
Them
thinking
hoes
that
and look, them hoes ain't asking for no money. Them hoes want to spend money. You get what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing. It ain't. I'm trying to tell you. That's how that
well,
shit
I'ma tell
be.
you the only
Them
way
hoes
that
want to cut a
happens,
check and they
that
want to spend money.
okay, because they know they gotta pay you to keep quiet. They gotta
They
pay
ain't got
your ass
what they got.
to
Okay, hold
keep
on, hold on, hold
quiet.
on. Why they
They
gotta
gotta
pay a
pay you.
nigga to keep
They
quiet?
gotta pay. They gotta pay a nigga to keep quiet, because as long as I'm giving this nigga this money, he ain't gonna
Hell
get.
no.
My
That's
husband
a
ain't gonna get
goddamn.
wind.
That's a
My
damn lie.
husband. My husband ain't gonna get wind that I'm letting another nigga drop his in my drawers. Because guess what? At this time, my husband not paying me no attention. He not giving me what I need. So guess what? I gotta go out and get it where I can get it. So I'm gonna go over here. And I'm telling you, I done heard this. I done heard
My
so many
God.
conversations with
Man, listen.
women.
I'm being listen. I'm
Women,
finna.
they
I'm sharing the
pay.
story, right? I'm
They
gonna share
will
the
pay
story.
for the dick. They will
Listen, they
pay
ain't
for the
gotta.
dick.
Listen, I'm.
Okay.
I'm gonna share the story, right? In my past, right? I met this lady one time, a long time ago in my past, right? And see, you ain't
Sorry.
got your phone off, and we on the air. You
No, that was
violate
a
the rules. See, right?
that's an
Okay, boom.
alarm. I have mine's
She
off.
was married. She was married, right? Boom.
Mhm.
I really ain't like. I don't really fuck with no married woman or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But she was married. She liked me and everything, right? So
Mhm.
when we hook up, trust me, she already had the room already waiting on us, waiting already when I get there.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, she can't take you
she
to her
wanna
house. Where
fuck,
else the fuck she gonna
but
take
she
you?
wanna fuck with a nigga. And I and you know, look out, want to take a
Did
nigga out
she?
and all
But
that type of
she.
shit.
But
But
did she ever
her and
talk
the
about
nigga supposed
leaving
to
her
be in a good,
husband?
but her and the nigga in a good space still. She just want to get her back blowed out by a raw nigga. That's all that is.
She needed some strange. Is that what you trying to say? She wanted some strange.
She just want to get that
Listen,
back blowed out by a
hey,
raw nigga. That's how that shit
hey,
go.
listen.
Shit,
What y'all men fail to realize is that when a man ain't cutting it, guess what? A woman needs somebody extra that's
man.
gonna cut it. Because if you listen, if she go, because you don't think that it's not times in a marriage where the wife and the husband not in the best of care.
Relationship, they're in the
But it
best
will
relationship.
exactly. But the thing of it is, it will harm her more to leave her husband than it would be to fuck with you. That's what
There
you
you
don't
go.
look. That's what you can't. That's
Listen,
what you're not
them
seeing.
motherfuckers don't care. Shit, they don't be giving a fuck. They
Listen,
don't be caring.
yes,
They
Well,
listen,
that's the
don't give
reason
a
that they don't is
goddamn.
because the whole
They
thing
don't
is
even care.
that
They don't even care.
listen.
they
Who
know
don't
that
care?
they
The
would lose
husband.
more.
Listen,
They would lose
listen.
more.
Them
The
hoes to
husband
text
don't
you. Them
care.
hoes text you in the house while the nigga there. Oh, he here. He right by me. So I call you. I call you when I leave the house in a few.
But how you know he
But
might be
see,
doing the same
they.
thing?
But I'm just
That part.
saying, the
But
nigga doing.
then
But listen, hold on now. The nigga
Mm-hmm.
paying all the bills at the house. He doing
Mm-hmm.
everything right, but she
Mm-hmm.
still want to get her back blowed out by a nigga.
okay, who say that he's doing everything right? She told you he doing everything right?
That's what they said. He was doing everything right, but she just
Listen,
want her. She just want a big dick in her life. That's all it was. She want to get her back blowed out. So
okay,
what the
but that's
problem?
what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying, Hook. It's something she's not getting at home. It's why she doing it, and it'll hurt her more to leave her husband for just what you do. Because look, she know you ain't gonna take care of her because she taking care of you.
Yep.
How she know if I ain't gonna take care of her?
She
Shit.
listen. Are you taking
If
care
that
of
was
her?
the
Did you
case, she
take
would
care
leave
of
her
her?
husband.
Exactly. That lady will leave
But
her husband.
listen, how you know she didn't want to do it? And I told her, nah. I probably
If
said,
the
nah,
dick
I don't want to break.
comfort,
Listen,
child,
and I
listen.
say, nah,
That
I don't want you to break. I said, I don't want to break up no happy home, man. I just we could keep doing how we been doing it. I said that. You get what I'm saying?
I hear
She
you.
would have left, but I said that.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that go anywhere. A nigga, if a nigga go in the club right now somewhere, a lot of hoes at, them hoes gonna want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they know, trust me, somebody gonna tap you on your shoulder like, oh, my homegirl say I'll give you this number here, or approach you or something like that. You get what I'm saying? But it's up to you if you want to follow through with it.
Yeah, if you giving off a vibe that you a single man,
Not
you
really.
wanna be, yes, yes, men do. Men give off single
Actually,
vibes.
they
They
do have that
do.
energy.
They do give a single vibe. And when a man give off a single vibe, yes, a woman will approach. And yes, you do have a lot of aggressive women. But at the end of the day, it's always a choice. If you're gonna mess with a person or you're not. And at the end of the day, and people already know if or when, whenever their relationship have that shift, what they're gonna do. They're gonna plan it out. They're gonna say, okay, this is my exit strategy, and this is what I'm gonna do. And especially women. Women always find an exit strategy before they actually exit. You understand what I'm saying? So don't ever think
They
Yes.
try to keep
that,
them. They
oh,
keep.
yo,
Listen, a
I
woman always try to keep
absolutely.
a flat tire or a spare tire around somewhere.
Well, I gotta
I was
sign off,
always told.
okay,
y'all.
that's not
I gotta sign off
always
for the
true.
night.
Yeah.
So
So
I will see
we'll
you guys
share.
later.
Okay.
Well, yeah, y'all keep going. I will definitely take a look at this when I get time. But I gotta sign off, so I will see y'all next time. Um,
That's
peace
that booty
out.
type booty call. All right.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Yeah, but that's how that go.
Yeah, but you gotta, it's not always that women have a spare tire. People find spare tires, but people don't always have a spare tire. And I'll be the first to say, if I need to do whatever I need to do to continue to for myself to be happy, then that's what I'm gonna do. At the end of the day, it's about me. It ain't about that person. It's about me at this point. So if
Right.
you, if people feel like they can't or they won't, or you know um they don't want a relationship, they don't want to be married, they don't want this,
Right.
anything you don't want, you express that what you don't want, and you move on to a person who want what you want.
Well, I
I've been
like
married.
me. I ain't
I've been
never say I might probably said in my past that I ain't want to get married, but I do want it in my life to be married with somebody and settle down with somebody. But with me, once I say I'm due, I'm due. That's it. It ain't no divorce. It ain't no nothing. This shit finna go. I ain't think because marriage is not. That's what I'm trying to say. People need to understand marriage is not to say you want a divorce. That shit supposed to be forever,
Yeah, but
lifetime.
you listen, but honestly, you can't say that because if a person want to go, you have to be able to allow them to go, whether you're married or not. You have to be willing or allow them to leave. And especially if you know and understand what's going on. If you know that they're not right, and you know that you're keeping this person from growing, you keeping this person from doing their very best in this lifetime, then you have to let them go. If you don't want anything with that person further, whether you're married or you're not, you have to let them go. You cannot hold people down because you don't want to make the righteous decision, because it always goes back to righteousness. What's right in the matter? You understand that people say, "Oh, well, what? What is right? You know what's right because we all have a choice to do right or wrong, and
Yeah,
you have to
but you
make.
never know. You never know. What's in that time frame when y'all with you and that person together? It don't matter how long that person may not be holding you. Maybe the right time will come that, you know what, boom, let's go get married. That person may say that.
But
You never know
but
what that
see,
person may
this,
say. Because you
but
gotta
this is
understand, it's marriage is a big thing. Some people think it's a small thing. That shit is like
no.
a
It's
big thing.
definitely it is a big thing.
Big thing when it come when you have all type of like you got all type of things involved, property, this thing, and all this stuff going on. It's a big
Hmm.
thing. You understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So
Hmm.
that's why it get kind of
But
tricky when it come to that.
but what
Some people would
what
just
I
be looking
always
for just come in just for a payday. They
what I
come in, they
always
marry, it can
said.
last a year, then they want to divorce, and then they looking for spouse
But
support, then they looking for
yeah,
half of what you own. Come on, that shit don't work like that.
yes, but that happens a lot. I'm gonna tell you. I um I remember when I was getting a divorce, and I wasn't bitter or anything because I
Mhm.
understood. I understand when when I had, because you work so hard for things, because marriage is work, relationships are work. People feel like, oh, you just get in a relationship and it's just supposed to just be, whatever. It's work. You have to work at it. And it can't be always one person working on the relationship, whether you're married or not. It can't just be one person and or one-sided. And people
Right.
have to get out of this mentality that relationships are 50-50. No, it's not 50-50. It's
What it
100
is.
100.
Yeah, it's
It's
100,
100
100.
100.
Right?
You give your 100, I give my
All at nothing.
100.
All
It's
or
all or
nothing.
nothing. And the
Right?
thing of it is that so many people feel that, oh, if if I'm giving 50, well, if he's giving 50 and I'm giving 100, or vice versa, I'm giving 50 and he's giving 100, then of course he should be concerned about who I'm giving the other 50 to. He should be concerned
But why would he
because
be? Why should he be concerned when you say you all in?
I'm not. But that's what I'm saying. When remember, a a relationship always have a shift if it's something negative. Like, say we have a conversation, and say it's been a year now and we never revisited that conversation, but things haven't gotten any better. It only has gotten worse in that
Mhm.
relationship. Sometimes it depends on the time frame, but it'll shift where that person will stop putting out as much as they was putting out because they're not seeing the reciprocation of what they're putting out, or they feel the person is not receiving what they're putting in. So that person may start lagging more and more. And once that person start lagging, you gotta understand that now it gotta be something or someone that's taking that attention. It don't necessarily always have to be a person. It can just be an entity or something. It can be that person start doing more, working out more. So they less focused on you, and
That's a
now they focusing
goddamn
on
lie.
going to work out.
Hey,
I'm
if
being real with
somebody
you
listen, I'm being real now. If somebody starts lacking and all that, nah, somebody else get some. She getting somebody else attention. She on the phone running her mouth with somebody else, or she doing something that she ain't got no business doing.
the same
That's one
thing.
thing
That's
with
what
me.
I'm
I
saying.
always, but listen, that's what it come back to when I said another thing. You got to study who you involved with, because when you study that person, you will know what's going on without them even saying something.
but
When they
but
started
don't
lacking, you already know what time it is.
don't get it misconstrued though, because that person could be building outside of you because
A
they
whole nother
know.
relationship.
Listen,
A whole nother
no,
relationship.
no, it don't
A
have to
whole
be a
nother relationship.
relationship. It doesn't have to be. See, when you saying relationship, but relationship don't also always have to mean cheating relationship. That can mean she could be putting in relationship, like relationship building, trying to find out, other business adventures. She could be doing anything to take her focus off of what's going on at home. or what that man got going on. She could start doing her own thing and saying, you know what, he got his thing, I'm gonna have my thing. And I do believe that people should have things separate. I do. I don't know if well, it was that way even in my marriage, that we didn't do everything together always, but we were always together. Meaning, like if it was something that he had to do, or if it was something that I had to do,
Mm-hmm.
it was okay that we went by ourselves to go do what we had to do. And whenever, that person finished or whatever, then that person, you come back together and you continue your life. But
Right.
far as, it doesn't all, and that's the misconception, that everything people always boil it down to is always cheating or another person. It doesn't always have to be that way, but you have to also communicate that to let a person know that, hey, this is what I'm doing. And it's okay to tell people if that's your person. Like if that's your person, that's your significant other, it's okay to say, hey, baby, this is what I'm doing. And, at the end of the day, you're hoping that that person is okay with what you're doing. Like, as long as I'm not doing anything to disrespect or have you out here looking crazy, then I feel like it's fair game. It's everything is okay. But when you get to a point where you out here, you being raggedy with your stuff, like, um, you were saying that one show you were saying that a guy, he was getting cheated on by his girl, and she didn't give a fuck or something you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
It should just be everywhere, whatever. But like, you just hope that the communication is there for them to understand that, hey, this is what I'm doing, and you're not, and that person is not making you crazy. You know what I'm making you look crazy in the streets, or they not.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
just hope that person, you
we
look
running,
crazy in the
we
street.
running. Not to cut you off, we running out of time.
Okay. All right.
And I thank you for coming on our show, Lynn,
Okay.
I just want to share this with you before you leave. People got to understand, when you're in a relationship, when y'all not
Mm-hmm.
around each other, that's a
Mm-hmm.
reflection of they are a reflection of you.
Your
Your other half is
partner.
a
Yeah.
reflection of you.
Mm-hmm.
So if they go out there and they want to suck another dick, they
Hey,
making you look
stop
bad.
that.
I'm
Don't
just
say
saying,
that.
if the nigga want to go eat another pussy, he making you look bad.
That's that
So
all the
that's what
time.
it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it
Mm-hmm.
real. Like, and be yourself, keep it
Mm-hmm.
real. That's what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
see you next time whenever we chime on. I try to come on probably tomorrow. We may come on tomorrow. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for coming on and chiming in.
All
Thanks.
right. Have a good night.
You
Thank you
too.
for having me.